So we will look at how to solve inequalities, but to do that, we must first look at interval notation. So you may be familiar with set notation, which uses the inequality. And what we are going to do is we are going to look at the graphs of those inequalities, and we are going to translate that graph to an expression that looks like the graph, just abbreviated. So the interval notation is basically a shorthand version of what you would see on the number line. So here we see that this is the set of all x's, and this vertical bar means where or such that. So this is the set of all x's where x is less than a. So if we look at a on the number line, where are the x's? They're less than a. So we would shade to the left because that's where all the x's are. Now, notice a is not included, so we use a parenthesis. If a is included, not only do we shade to the left, but we would use a bracket. Now look at the interval notation. We are shading from left to right, so negative infinity until a, and we don't include a. Now infinity and negative infinity, those are not real numbers. They are concepts, so we never include negative infinity or infinity. We always use parentheses with those. So if x is larger than a, we shade to the right of a. We don't include a. Then look at the interval notation. And so on and so forth, on down the line. So, some key facts I've already mentioned. A parenthesis is used when a value is not included in the set. A bracket is used whenever we do include it, so you'll see the equal bar under the inequality. And we always use parentheses for infinity or negative infinity. So we want to write this inequality by using interval notation, and we also want to graph it. So my suggestion, until you get used to interval notation, graph it first. So to graph it, what we first do is let's just look at this statement. Negative 2 is less than or equal to x. So we're looking at negative 2 here. Now where is x in relation to that? If you compare those two, x is the larger number. So we'll be shading to the right of negative 2. But then also, if we look at x is less than 7, we can come over here to 7, and where will x be in relation to 7? Well, since x is less than 7, we'll shade to the left. So this x is satisfying both of these. It is both bigger than negative 2 and smaller than 7. So we will shade between. And then, whenever it comes to negative 2 itself, we will use a bracket. 7 is not included, so we'll use a parenthesis. And so the interval notation is going to be, and we read from left to right, so negative 2, comma, 7. And now for negative 2, we include it, so we use a bracket. 7 is not included, so we use a parenthesis. Now we have the interval 2, 7. So let's go ahead and graph it first. So we're going to shade between 2 and 7. We put a bracket at 2, a parenthesis at 7. Now where is x? X is between those two values. So it's bigger than 2, it's less than 7, but we can include the 2. So that's the inequality. If you were asked to write it as a set, you would write a curly bracket, x such that 2 is less than or equal to x is less than 7.